I'll never forget the day that I found out I'd be hosting Almost Live on King 5. I was so excited, I couldn't wait to tell my dad.
I told him he'd fail just like he'd failed at everything else. I mean, the boy has no direction, no discipline. 34 years old and the jerk hasn't had a substantial job yet. That's his mother's fault.
I knew he'd understand just how I felt, that this was something I had to do. I guess Dad and I have always had a special kind of bond. I feel really lucky.
It's embarrassing. I mean, I have to live in this town too. Such a disappointment.
So from my family to yours, let's have a good laugh on the home team.
This is Almost Live, and I couldn't care less if you watch this show or not. I'm not going to suck up to you. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to kiss your feet or anything else. Who croaked and made you king? This is the show. Like it or lump it. But I think you'll like it because you're so intelligent and fun to be with. Really good looking, too. Sort of like this guy. John. Keister.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, some disturbing news. You may have read this. The Blue Moon Tavern, one of the last vestiges of that beatnik, hippie, counterculture lifestyle, aside, from the few disoriented people who push shopping carts around the U District. The Blue Moon Tavern is in danger of being torn down. Did you see this? Oh, I know. Yeah. Now, the Friends of the Blue Moon are trying to get it declared a historical landmark. After all, Kerouac used to tip a few cold ones at the Blue Moon. Tom Robbins hung out there while he thought up those novels that seem so deep when you're high, And as a matter of fact, I, John Keister, very true, had my very first legal beer at the Blue Moon, so I think that qualifies it right there, the beginning of my most lasting relationship. So we at Almost Live think it's a great idea to make the Blue Moon a historical landmark, but we'd like to make some other nominations of our own. First, the Hat and Boots gas station, okay? So that, so that future generations will also know what it's like to go to the bathroom in gigantic footwear. That's very important. Tacoma's Hilltop neighborhood as a historic battlefield. The University of Washington bookstore bike rack, because some of those bikes have been locked up there for more than 200 years. The phrases Reefer and Mary Jane should be made landmarks. The Volunteer Park men's room, also. Yeah, I thought so. The Tacoma pulp mill. Look, if we have to smell it, so do our kids, okay? Yeah. And last of all, a truly historic artifact, KJR's entire playlist. All right, so those are our suggestions. Let's protect them now while there's still time. And, I should probably point out that I'm a little distracted right now. You see, we tape Almost Live in Studio B, and across the hall in Studio A all day they've been holding auditions for the new Robert Palmer video. Steve, can we get a shot of those auditions? How's those going? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, going pretty good. I'd say they've got some good candidates there, some pretty good, yeah, there they are. Yeah, I think the guy in the middle is a shoo-in, right. All right, people with a lot of character there. And Almost Live is always interested in building character. Not our own, of course, but the character of our viewers. We believe manners are very important today, and that's why we're proud to present another installment from the master of manners himself, Mr. Billy Quan.
It's time for Mind Your Manners with Billy Quan. Today's episode, Enter the Bowler.
Halfway to a perfect game. Oh, baby. Yes, I like this shot. Oh. Thank you. Oh, look at that score. I'm red hot. I've got to keep it going. Yes.
Oh boy, bowling! Whee!
Lord, got a ball! Ah! You have ruined my perfect game. Do you know nothing of bowling?
Bowling, huh? You want to bowl? Bowl this! Where am I?
About to go bowling! Thank you. Perfect game. Kids, be a courteous bowler or Billy will bonk you. So don't be a pinhead.
Remember, kids, be like Billy. Behave yourself.
All right, behave yourself. Stay with us. We've got a great show, and we'll be right back. Okay, well, welcome back. Welcome back. You know, this just happens to be the very first Almost Live of the 90s, and we didn't want to miss out on our chance to comment on the late, great 80s, and all those other shows had their panels of experts, and we needed some of our own, so we turned, as always, to Seattle's sensitive and enlightened heavy metal community. So, here is a Headbangers look back.
And now, Seattle's heavy metal community reviews the 80s in the lame lists.
Lame!
Beer with Lime.
Lame!
Who reunion tours.
Oh, lame!
Safe sex. Alcohol-free events.
Mega lame!
Rambo 3, Rocky 4, and Star Trek 5.
Lame! Lame!
Sajak.
Lame! Lame! For sure lame! Lame!
Yeah. Michael Jackson as a California raisin.
Very lame.
Al Capone's vault.
Lame!
This has been the lame list.
Yes. Very clear and concise, those Headbangers. But, you know, they tend to take more of a world view. We thought it would also be a good idea to, do a look back at what happened in our own Northwest over the last decade. And, Billy Joel seemed to be opening new doors in the way we look at history in that song, "We Didn't Start the Fire." So, we thought it would be nice to swipe his idea and make our own local version. So here it is. Everywhere espresso carts, hypo needles in the park. Emmett Watson writes more, his obsessions are a bore. Rosalind Summers, Ice Queen, $15 ice cream. Seattle rated #1, Californians, here they come. We can't start our fires, 'cause the air is trapped by the inversion layer. Dixie's out, Booth's in, Brock commits another sin. Microbreweries, Microsoft, Mariners get another loss. Real estate sky high, traffic backed up on I-5. Ramp the Bog One, neo-Nazis on the lawn. The Space Needle is on fire. No, I'm only joking, it's not even smoking. We can't start our fires, 'cause the air is trapped by the inversion layer. Boz cuts, Ivor dies in Florida, Ted Bundy fries, cops on bikes, Tim's chips, yuppies on the cocaine list. Smoking vans, carpool lanes, all the banks have changed their names. Condoms make our sex life safer, LA job for Raj Schaefer. Whoops, mess, high rent, another catch for Largent Greenpeace on Puget Sound, the ferry Elwha runs aground. Busing issue, Boeing strike, Californians take a hike. Bigfoot doll, St. Helens ash, public markets out of cash. Tacoma streets on fire. Yeah, there's people shooting while they're barbecuing. We didn't start the fire. Well, we didn't mean to, we just dropped the lighters. We didn't start the fire. It's just special effects. Now I'm just really the shortened version there. That's as much as we could write about it, you know. You know, it's pretty clear that the 80s were a big decade, but now that we're in the 90s, we've got to start gearing up for the really big celebration. And fortunately, there's a show that's already way ahead of the pack. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Wrap Up. As you all know, we've spent the past few weeks wrapping up the 80s, and what a trip it's been. But there's an even bigger trip coming up, isn't there, Alan?
That's right, Dave. The next big look back will be in the year 2000, but this time we won't be looking back at just a decade or even a century.
No, we're going to be wrapping up the entire millennium, 1,000 years.
Yowie! We better get started early.
Right you are, Alan. It's been an eventful millennium, as millenniums go. Genghis Khan conquered China. Columbus discovered the New World, and Cher won an Oscar.
We suffered through the eruption of Krakatoa, the Irish potato famine, and the Seattle Mariners' home schedule.
When the millennium began, the Boeing 747 was just a dream, and the channeled warrior entity Ramtha was only 34,000 years old.
Yes, we've come a long way. Take music, for example. In the year 1000, we were pretty much just chanting atonally, and there were no sax solos as we know them now.
Today, of course, we progressed to the music of Whitesnake, Poison, and Rat.
It's been a big millennium for inventions, too. In the year 1500, we invented the watch.
400 years later, we invented the watch that beeps.
We laughed at the bloopers and blunders of 1,000 years.
Napoleon at Waterloo.
The Salem witch trials.
The 74 Vega.
It was a millennium of bests.
Best war, World War II, with a powerhouse ending.
Best act of humanitarianism. CBS is canceling Beauty and the Beast.
Best hamburger, Kid Valley.
The original one over at University Village.
But it was also a millennium of disappointments. The three biggest being that there's no fountain of youth, the Earth is not the center of the universe, and bottled beer is still not as good as tap.
There were plagues aplenty during the past 1,000 years, the most prominent being the bubonic plague, the smallpox epidemic, and Amway.
We had heroes, Joan of Arc, William the Conqueror, Ivor Haglund.
And villains, Ivan the Terrible, Adolf Hitler, and the guy who wrote the song Feelings.
The millennium sizzled with sexual excitement, beginning with Lady Godiva's bareback ride in 1063 and culminating with Michelle Pfeiffer writhing on a piano in 1989.
Sexiest woman of the millennium? Marie Antoinette.
Sexiest man? Kevin Costner.
And that'll just about do it for this edition of Wrap Up. So we're going to leave you with a list of some of the notable people who passed away this millennium. We're sure you'll see some familiar names and some you may have forgotten. Good night.
Good night.
Studio amplification for Almost Live provided by American Music.
Steve Largent. He had the best hands in football. And now you can too with new Largent Hands. Just slip one on like a glove. Molded directly from the fabulous hands of Steve Largent for 1,001 uses.
Or Jax.
Messy friends.
All right!
The Paper Boy. Never miss again. They're faster than a speeding fly.
John, have another brew.
You've got good hands with Largent.
Well, we're back. We're back. You know, at Almost Live, we're community-minded. We're interested. We saw, you know, we're also interested in the law enforcement in the community. We saw an item in the paper this last week that caused us some concern, so we decided to take a closer look.
Monday, 10 a.m. With their budget cut and no new leads, the members of the Green River Task Force are getting desperate.
Hello, Mrs. Zignowski? Hi, this is John Ramsey from the Green River Task Force. Mrs. Zignowski, are you the Green River Killer? No? You sure? Okay, thank you very much. That's it for South
Taylor
County.
Glenn Martin here from the Green. No, I'm not selling aluminum siding from the Green. Well, would you like some aluminum siding?
Yeah, sure. Look, I'd like to believe you, Mr. Potter. I would like to believe you, but you have no idea how many people are claiming that they're not the Green River Killer. Now, someone is lying here, Mr. Potter.
And how old are you, Jimmy? 8 years old. And where were you on the night of June 18th, 1982? Do you have any credit card receipts to prove that, Jimmy?
Green River Task Force. What? Real? Hold on, operator, hold on. Hey, you guys, it's the Green River Killer.
Whoa!
But he called collect. Can we take it?
No money.
Can't do it.
No.
Operator, can you ask him to call back after 11? Can you call back after 11?
Wednesday, 3 p.m. Still wearing the same clothes, they try another approach.
Okay, guys, here's the weekly ad, all right? Sexy task force members seeking...
How about mature, educated task force?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Mature, educated task force seeks successful serial killer.
How about experienced serial killer?
All right, okay, experienced serial killer.
Non-smoker.
All right, yeah, non-smoker.
Yes.
I hate smoking, filthy habit. All right. Seeks non-smoker for good times, conversation, and possible long-term incarceration. Please, no weirdos, and photo appreciated.
I think maybe we should drop the line about no weirdos.
Yeah.
Friday, 1 o'clock. One final sweep of the area before the big 3-day weekend.
Yes?
Mr. Allen, we're the Green River Task Force. Are you the Green River Killer?
No, I'm not.
Well, can we search your house anyway?
You're welcome to, but you were just here last week.
We were?
Oh, yeah.
He's right. I'm sorry. That's our fault. That shouldn't have happened.
No problem.
Well, do you know anybody who might be the Green River Killer?
You might try the Wilsons a couple doors down. They're kind of weird. They like Bryant Gumbel.
Dang, that's a lead.
That could be it.
Let's go!
Let's go! Gee, thanks, Mr. Allen!
Whoa, wait, we forgot something.
Oh.
Okay, stay with us, please. We'll be right back after this. Well, we're back. We're back. You know, that's just about the time we've got for this show, but you want to watch next week because we're going to be starting a new contest, a special Almost Live contest. You may have heard that Jay Leno's coming to town next month. All the tickets went really fast for that concert, but for you, the Almost Live viewer, we're going to give you a chance to win a chance to be a guest with Jay Leno down at the Tonight Show. We will fly you down there on what airline? A good one, you know, a proper airline. What is it? Alaska Airlines. We're going to fly you down there. You're going to get to meet Jay or whoever down there. Great seats, front row seats in the Tonight Show. We'll even get you like some rooms. You know, you can stay. We've got some friends down there that you can stay with. You know, in any case, nice hotel room, stuff like that. And I guess that's just about it for this show. Well, actually, we do have a little bit more time, but you see, there was supposed to be the man with the giant frogs on this show. You might have seen him on the cover of the paper. Now, those gigantic frogs are like 4 feet. I was told that there was going to be those frogs on the show, and so I paced myself accordingly. So, let me just check on an item here. Somebody obviously dropped the ball on this. So, who messed up on the Frogman thing? Where's the frogs?
John, I'm afraid he's booked for next week. He's going to be on next week's show. It's always been next week. He was never booked on this show. Once again, you've made a fool of yourself.
So the Frogman is next week?
He's next week, John.
Oh, okay. Just hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, that's about all we've got time for. Next week, we're going to have the Frogman on Almost Live. So that's just about all we got time for. Remember, stay tuned next week. The big giant frogs, they're coming. Big giant frogs.
Promotional consideration for Almost Live provided by Pizzeria Pagliacci, featuring traditional and gourmet pizza by the slice. Pizzeria Pagliacci, rated Seattle's best pizza. Promotional consideration also provided by your local Coca-Cola bottler.